Hello, hello, hello. Let's see if everything looks good before we begin. How y'all doing? Oh, I'm not doing Fortnite push that button. Oh, I'm not doing Fortnite push that button. Also, what is that buzzing sound? Also, what is that buzzing sound? That's gonna be annoying. I hope y'all can't hear that. I really hope y'all can't hear that. Especially since, as you can see, this is a very, very, very special stream. As you can see, I have a new background, new setup, because this is the first ever stream we are doing on our PC. And I feel like the best way to do that is to do a Naruto themed stream, right? So what we're gonna do is, as you can see, we have a tier list of every single character. Well, I would say every single important character. I made the tier list myself. I basically did all the important characters in Naruto Shippuden, and we're gonna rank them based on my own criteria, based on my own list of why I think this character is my favorite character, why I don't like this character. So we're gonna do that, and we're gonna see how long that goes. Then we will see what else happens. Please tell me that buzzing sound is not there. That goes, then we will see what else happens. Please tell me that buzzing sound is not there. I think that's the mic. Hold up. See what else happens. Right, my mic sounds robotic. I think that's the mic. Hold up. Let me turn it down. Right, my mic sounds robotic. I think that's the mic. Hold up. Let me turn it down. Right, my mic sounds robotic. I think that's the mic. Hold up. Let me turn it down. Right, my mic sounds robotic. I think that's the mic. Hold up. Let me turn it down. Right, my mic. Your voice coming out when you talk sounds right. Hearing it back sounds robotic, though. Oh, so is it Dakota? First of all, shout out to you. What do you think of the setup? Number one, but two. So, is my voice sound good right now? It's only robotic when I listen to it back. That's interesting. If so, let me know. If not, let me see if it's something going on with OBS. Because that's what I'm using to stream. It sounds good right now. Okay, cool. Sick. Nice. Also, what do you think of the new setup? Really looking forward to it. I also have a new background and everything. And if you also want to test this for me, I got new alerts for follow, subscriber, bits, donations, all that stuff. Because this is going to be the setup, the overlay, the background, all that stuff. This is going to be the setup when I'm doing reactions. Hey, shout out to you. Nice. But this is going to be the stream setup I do when I'm doing reactions, whether it's reacting to one of your streams, reacting to one of my streams. I think we're going to soon be reacting to like Naruto fights or sharing my views on, now My Hero Academia. Let's see, reviewing, probably doing reactions like when the FNAF 2 movie trailer comes out, or anything else that piques my interest or anything. This is going to be like that kind of stream. We still will do with PlayStation streams and that other background that I've existed for a long, long time. But this is a dedicated stream PC setup that is for reactions and any other stuff that requires more than just a PlayStation and PlayStation camera. Alright, cool. So, all that intro out the way, let's hop in and let's do our tier list. And I guess I'm going to say this, Dakota, since you're here. I'm sure you know this. But when you did your tier list of doing this exact one, your microphone was muted. So let's hope I don't have that same problem. All right, enough intro out the way. Let's just hop into this. All right. So let's see. So we are going to go, I think, just in order. So start off with Pain, Sasuke, Itachi, Madara, Obito, right? And then just go in that order. So, Pain, Nagato. Where do I rank Pain? He's also, I'm not sure if you can see it, I have this Akatsuki poster. So it's Kisame, Itachi, Konan, Pain, Haidan, Deidara, Sasori, Obito, Kakuzu, and Zetsu. I hope y'all can see that. Ah, man. Damn it. You can see, at least you can see half of it. It's such a cool poster. Obviously, this is Sasuke, this is Naruto, and then this is like a banner of all the Akatsuki members with their eyes. And also, I guess since I'm here, I know I should be doing the tier list, but it's a new setup. I spent time on this. I spent time getting this PC to work and everything. I want to show it off. We also got... Oh. Hold on 1 second. Sick! I hope you can see that, but this is... The light is red. Because, if I'm being honest, I may just keep the red light just for the Akatsuki and everything, which is... Oh, I guess I'm wearing the Uchiha. But I may change it to a different color or anything. So we'll keep it red for now and then go from there. Hope y'all can see that. Alright, so hopefully enough introduction of the way. Let's just hop in and do what y'all came for. And yes, yours was absolutely muted. So, okay. Introduction of the way. Okay, so Pain. Where do I rank Pain? Now, I'm going to preface this. If you've seen Naruto Shippuden, you know what I'm probably about to say. I'm going to rank Nagato and Pain, and I'm going to consider them the same person, right? I know Nagato based his whole, orange hair appearance and everything that you see him here. It was all based off of, Yahiko and everything, and, Nagato is actually hidden in a cave somewhere with Konan, he has big, chakra modem psych server. I get all that. But I'm saying it's the same person. And Pain, he gets A tier for me. He gets A tier. He's an iconic villain. The Akatsuki robes are dripped out as fuck. I've gone on record on past streams that, in my opinion, Nagato Pain is the coolest looking character, maybe in all of TV shows I've ever seen. Such a cool design. And his powers is also really cool as well. Sasuke. Where do I rank Sasuke? I know people are going to want me to say he's S or A because of how important he is. And he's not quite D tier, right? Let's be honest. He's not quite D tier. He's not, we'll get into these other characters. He's not that bad, but I have my problems with Sasuke, right? But then there's also the points that I like him. It literally is a love-hate relationship I have with Sasuke, right? I totally get he wants to be Avenger. He wants to, avenge his clan, avenge his family because his brother betrayed him, all that stuff. But he goes way too far on the emo side of things to the point where it, to me, gets to a point of delusion. So I'm saying Sasuke is, for right now, he's between B and C. I'm going to say he's B. I'm going to say Sasuke is solid B minus to C plus tier. But I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt because of how important he is. I'm going to say he's B tier. Itachi, S tier. If you do not have Itachi as S tier in your Naruto ranking, do not talk to me. In my opinion, your opinion is invalid. Madara, A tier. He's an A tier. I know that probably seems blasphemous that he should be S tier because of how important he is, but that's the thing. Yes, he's important, but he's not on screen enough to warrant an S tier for me. But Itachi warrants an S tier. Obito. So if Madara was like on screen way more than just like the Great Ninja War, where he was like there everywhere, if he was on screen before the Great Ninja War, then I would say he goes in S tier because of how iconic he is. But for right now, I'd say A tier, which is a very, very solid list still. Obito, I'll say he's B tier, above Sasuke. My problem with Obito, which I don't know if y'all feel the same way about this as me, but my biggest problem with Obito is they had a solid game plan. They had a solid idea with them where, Obito wasn't really dead, and, he, trained under Madara to, try to make a world with, him and Rin and everything. And turns out, no, Kakashi, he's not really dead. And then he became a villain and everything. That's all fine. In my opinion, when Obito became, the Jinchuriki, and then, he got betrayed by, Zetsu and Madara and all that stuff, and then he went to like this whole like redemption arc, but then he went back to being a villain. Like, I feel like at that point, they had no idea what to do with Obito, so they just kept bringing him in there because he is an important character in the series. He's connected to the Great Ninja War, so they kept bringing him back when they had nothing else to do with him. In my opinion, Obito should have shown up. Oh my god, Kakashi, he's not really dead. Kakashi's, perplexed and shocked. PTSD that Obito's not really dead. Kakashi, Obito have their fight. Obito dies in that fight. He still loses, and that's when his story ends. You can still have the whole Naruto Obito speech about, you're Obito Uchi and everything. You want to be Hokage. You can still have that speech, but don't bring him back to become a Jinchuriki, and then to get betrayed by Madara, then for Obito to come back later on in Redemption Arc, no. To me, in my opinion, they ran out of ideas, and they had no idea what to do with them after that. So, if they hadn't done that, he would be easy A for me. But as soon as, to me, they kept jumping the shark and they had no idea what to do with them, he kind of got demoted for me. Kakashi, S tier. Easy. I feel like that's easy. Another easy S tier, Naruto. Another easy S tier, Rock Lee. Another easy S tier, Shikamaru in D tier. No. No, Shikamaru is an S tier. I will say, in OG Naruto, Shikamaru was around the C tier for me. But then as soon as the Sasuke retrieval arc, he got promoted to B tier for me. And then as soon as the Hidan fight when Asuma died and Shikamaru became a full-on top alpha G, that's when he jumped to S tier for me, is the Hidan fight. My guy, I think he's A tier. My guy, entertaining. Him and Rock Lee combination is an easy S tier. Because to me, whenever Mike Guy and Rock Lee are on screen together, it is must watch because it's just so fucking funny. Like, they say the most wild, bombastic stuff, and I just can't help but not be entertained. So, I love it. I love Mike Guy with, his rivalry with, Kakashi and everything. But Mike on his own, let's say is A tier. Datara, I should be biased towards Datara because, we both have the same birthday, but I'm saying Datara is C tier. He's fine. Like, I would say C tier is the average, middle of the pack characters where they're fine, they're average, they're passable, but they're nothing special. There's worse guys on the list, which we'll get to later on. But I'd say Datara, he's fine. Gaara, S or A tier. I keep saying Gaara is within my top 5, or if he's not in my top 5 favorite characters, he just misses the cut like Sid, so I feel like he deserves S tier. Gaara, from a villain perspective, in the Chunin exams and OG Naruto, was amazing. He was such a good villain. They made you hate Gaara, and they made you hate the Sand People. But then, he had his, arc where he became a good guy now. He became a best friend of Naruto, and then he became the Kazekage, and he was a leader in the Great Ninja War. So, yeah. No complaints with Gaara. He's S tier for me. Kisame. To me, Kisame is the same thing of what I was saying earlier with Might Guy and Rock Lee, where Kisame and Itachi is S tier. Like, that duo is S tier because similar to the whole Might Guy Rock Lee, it is entertaining. And it is so funny seeing those two interact on screen. It is so entertaining. But him on his own is not the same caliber as Itachi, Rock Lee, or Might Guy. So I would say Kisame, he's B tier. He's B tier. He's slightly more important than Datara, especially because Kisame is the last Akatsuki member, I guess technically, to survive, to be alive the longest. So I'd say he's slightly more important than Datara. Choji. Where do I rank you? He's not quite S for me. He's not quite S. But I'll say Choji's A tier. Choji is really funny. I feel like that's a given if you've ever seen the show. Choji is really funny. But he's also just such a relatable character, right? Like, he feels real, right? And that's what makes, Naruto, so great. I think is a lot of these characters, they feel like real, actual people. Like, I can totally believe Choji, someone with his personality, I can totally believe those people exist. I would argue I kind of have his personality a little bit. Where, you don't want to hurt your comrades, you don't want to hurt your teammates, you don't want to hurt anyone. And even if this is for, training, sparring, whatever, you don't want to do any physical contact out of fear that you hurt them and then you would be responsible for it. I totally buy it. So yeah, Choji, I like ya. Haidan. He was my Twitch and YouTube profile picture of me being drawn in his style up until recently where I changed it to Itachi. Haidan. I'll say the same as Datara. Akatsuki member, he plays his role. He's a villain. He has his fight. He makes you hate you. He makes you hate him a small bit, similar to Datara. So that's really all I have to say about Datara and Haidan. They're just C tier. The first D tier is Kabuto, without a doubt. I don't think I know one person who unironically likes or even tolerates Kabuto. Kabuto, my biggest problem is he always gets inserted in. He always makes himself important. And, how do I say this? Even if it feels like this fight or this arc has nothing to do with Kabuto, he'll still show up and still be important in the arc in some way, which is annoying. Not every single arc has to involve Kabuto, so he's D tier for me. Kakuzu, same thing with Datara and Haidan, C tier. Orochimaru. Orochimaru, where do I rank you? In my opinion, Orochimaru is one of the biggest disappointments of the entire series. Like, I will die on the hill. That may sound crazy to you, but Orochimaru, to me, is one of the biggest disappointments in the entire series. In both OG and Shippuden. I've said this on past streams, but Orochimaru, the most he does is killing the third Hokage in OG Naruto during the Chunin exams. That's the most he does. And that's all fine, but the way the characters talk about him, the way characters view him, and the way characters tell you how important he is and how much of a threat he is, when that is all he's done is kill the third Hokage, he's not a factor after that in the rest of OG Naruto. And especially in all of Shippuden, he shows up, and what does he do? Train Sasuke, and then Sasuke kills him? Right? Like, people view Orochimaru as, like, the equivalent of, let's say, Peter Parker's Green Goblin, or Joker to the Batman, right? Like, people put him on that tier where it's like, Naruto is the hero, Orochimaru is the villain. Joker is the villain, Batman's the hero, right? And he just doesn't do anything to warrant that kind of comparison where it's not Naruto's the hero, and everywhere Naruto is, the villain, Orochimaru, is right there next to him. Right? So, Orochimaru, C tier. Jiraiya, A tier. I feel like that's enough said. Sai. I'd say C tier. Once again, he's passable. He's fine. I'm not offended whenever he's on screen. Kiba, I'd say same thing, C tier. Shino, C tier. Zetsu, get fucking down there to D tier. Get down there. Get down there to D tier, where you fucking belong. Ruined the Great Ninja War. Toby. Because I was, it technically is Obito. I'm saying that is Toby. So, ranking Toby on his own, S tier. Yes, he doesn't do that much from a fight or importance perspective, but from a pure entertainment standpoint, he's easily S tier. Probably the most entertaining character in all of Shippuden is Toby. Asuma. It's in between B and C tier for me. Right? B minus to C plus tier. I'd say C tier. Right? He's passable. He's fine. He's slightly more important than, like, Sai, Kiba, Shino, Haiden, Kakuzu. Like, he's more important than those, yeah. But as far as, like, the, sensei leaders and the Hidden Leaf, obviously Kakashi, Might Guy, they get superiority over him, Danzo, D tier. You know what? Can we do this? Let me add a row below. There we go. Trash where you belong. And I feel like that is a fair judgment for Danzo. I feel like if you ever seen the show, you know why I have that ranking for him. Yaiko, D. It's not that he's a bad character. It's not that I hate him just like, Kabuto and Zetsu. It's not that. The problem is Yahiko is not in the series that much. So I can't really rank him when there's not much to go off of. Kankuro, I almost forgot his name for a second. That just shows you that, yeah, he's in the show a lot, but, I mean, what importance does he really have? You know? I'd say Kankuro's C tier. He's on to me, he's on the same tier as like Saya and Kiba and Shino and Asuma. On the same tier. They're fine. Killer B, same thing of what I said about Toby. Most entertaining characters ever in all of television are these two guys right here. It's Toby and Killer B. They are just so entertaining. I love them both. Minato, A or S tier for Minato? A or S tier? I'll say S tier for Minato. Right? I love Minato. It's just, I wish he was in it more. Right? I wish he was in it more. Then, if Minato was in it more, I would say, hands down, he might be my top 5 favorite characters. But he's probably around, like, within my top 10. Because he's not in it that much, unfortunately. Neji, I'd say Neji's B tier. I'd say that's a respectable. Sasori, C tier. All the Akatsuki members, unless you're like Kisame or Itachi or Toby, you're all C tier. You're all fine. And Orochimaru was Akatsuki at one point. Yamato. Same thing with Asuma. They're fine. I'd say they're C tier. They're passable. Lady Chiyo. Fine. She's fine. Right next to Sasori, so that makes sense. Aruka. I love Aruka Sensei. Aruka's A tier for me. Yeah. Aruka's A tier. And it's also funny that they are next to each other. That's just, I did not plan it that way. That's just how it happened. But I would say, like, people are like, oh, you know, Aruka is, you know, Naruto's like father figure because that's what he wanted during the Naruto wedding. I would say Jiraiya is Naruto's father figure. Aruka is like the older brother figure for Naruto. Like, I never saw Aruka as a father figure. I always saw him as like an older brother to a younger brother. And Jiraiya was the father figure. Kaguya, trash. But not quite as bad as Danzo, so I'd say you're just D tier. She just makes no sense. You don't need to exist. The Great Ninja War was not about you, so why are you even there in the first place? That's how I see it. Rin. The whole series in Great Ninja War would not happen if you did not exist. But you're not in the series that long at all. So that's my biggest problem with Rin. Is like, yeah, they're important. They, you know, their death is what caused the whole series, but they're not in it that much. But I don't hate them as much as other people. So I'd say C tier for Rin. I'd say that's fine. I don't remember your name. I don't remember. Suigetsu, that's it. I was like, it starts with a Z, I know that. Suigetsu. D. Right? I mean, why? They're just meh. I don't have much to say, especially the same with Karin. I just don't have much to say about either one of them. They just exist. The ramen guy, S tier. You know what? The biggest S tier. You know what? No. Scratch that. We're going to do this. There we go. That is our official ranking. Right? S tier, and then the true GOAT is Ramen Guy. I know he has a name, but he's always referred to as Ramen Guy. Because let's face it, if that Ramen Guy is not the true GOAT, then Naruto does not become the Hokage. Ramen Guy single-handedly created Naruto. So, that's the true... If that's not GOAT shit, then I don't know what is. Sakura, trash. Enough said. I just don't like Sakura. I'm sorry. I know Sakura has her supporters and everything. Dakota, if you're here, I know you support her, but nah. I just think there are better female characters than Sakura. For instance, Hinata is S tier. 100%. Hinata is S tier and Sakura is trash. Right? I feel like I don't need to explain myself as to why, but I guess I can explain myself if needed. But Hinata, to me, is the type of person, especially, female and everything, the person that you want to be a partner with. They're the person that you want to find. They're the person you want to find and look for and be part of a relationship with them. You want a Hinata. And what that means is you want someone who is with you for you, who likes your strengths, who likes your flaws, your weaknesses, what makes you you. They like you for you, and they're not just paying attention to you, or they're not just seeing, paying attention to you now and, acknowledge you exist just because you're famous or you're now successful. Oh, now I pay attention to you. Like, no, she was there since the beginning, right? So you want someone like that. So, Hinata is S tier. Ino C tier. Fine. They're in the same level as all these people. They're fine. They're average. They're passable. I tolerate you. Conan, A tier. A tier. Next to Yahiko Pain. Nagato. All three. I feel like that makes sense. Kurenai. I was like, wait, what's her name? Kurenai. I'd say they're B tier. I'd say she's B tier. I don't have much else to say. She's just B tier. I don't have any complaints about them. They're important. They're an Uchiha. They had a relationship with Asuma. Had a kid. So, yeah, I'd say B tier. Kushina. The Red Hot Habanero. I'd say they're A. I'd say Kushina's A tier. Right below Minato. Tamari. Tamari is headstrong and aggressive, which is kind of a problem I have with her, but it also is her best strength, quite literally and figuratively, because her being so headstrong leads to some entertaining moments, especially with Shikamaru. So, I'd say she's A tier. I'd say that's a pretty solid ranking for Tamari. 10-10. C tier. I'd say 10-10 C tier. I mean, I know I'm not the only one who thinks that. Because if you go to any Naruto rap where it involves, like, Hidden Leaf characters, when the 10-10 verse comes on, one of the lines they literally say verbatim, if I was, like, more important in the series, or if I was able to, show off more, then I'll be seen as more important, or I would have, like, a more positive image. Like, even the raps themselves acknowledge that she's not in the show that much. She doesn't do much important stuff in the show. Right? So, I would say she's C tier. If she did more, she had more importance, then yeah, I would say she moves up to B tier if she had more importance. And Tsunade, A tier. I'd say Tsunade's A tier. Alright, so that is our list. So trash where you belong is Danzo and Sakura. D tier is Kabuto, Zetsu, Yaiko, Kaguya, Karin, and Suigetsu. C tier is Yamato, Asuma, Deidara, Haidan, Kakazu, Orochimaru, Sai, Kiba, Shino, Kankuro, Sasori, Rin, Ino, Tenten, and Lady Shio. B tier is Obito, Sasuke, Kisame, Neji, Kurenai. A tier is Pain, Conan, Madara, Might Guy, Choji, Jiraiya, Aruka, Koshina, Tenten, Tamari, Tsunade. S tier is Itachi, Kakashi, Rock Lee, Naruto, Shikamaru, Gaara, Tobi, Killer Bee, Minato, or Hinata, and the GOAT himself, the Ramen Guy, which I would say is a very solid list. I feel like I have been pretty consistent when it comes to my favorite Naruto characters, right? Because I feel like I've always said my top 5 has always involved Itachi, Kakashi, Shikamaru, Rock Lee, Naruto, and Hinata, right? I would say those like sits have always been in my top 5s. So I'm glad that we are consistent. Trash list, your opinion is invalid. What makes my list invalid? You're gonna tell me you disagree that Ramen Guy is S tier? Or that Danzo is F trash tier? You're gonna tell me you disagree that Ramen Guy is not the GOAT? If Ramen Guy did not exist, Naruto would not exist. And think about that. If that doesn't say that he's the GOAT, then I don't know what to tell you. So what about my list is invalid? I really want to know. Because to me, my list is accurate. I see no complaints, no problems with my list. Because it's not because of just bias, obviously. But it's also just because that, you know, if you ask anyone, their routinely favorite characters is always going to be like Itachi, Kakashi, Shikamaru, Naruto, Rock Lee, Gaara, Minato, Hinata, Pain, Madara, Conan, my guy, right? Those guys are going to be in people's favorite lists of Naruto characters, period. So I feel like I'm pretty consistent with it. So what about my list is trash? Tenten and Ino over Sakura? Yes. I know you're a Sakura supporter, an SS, but yes, 100%. Tenten and Ino over Sakura. Kureno over Asuma? Yes. Also yes. To me, Asuma has always felt like, out of all the Jonin in the Hidden Leaf, out of Kakashi, Asuma, Might Guy, and Kurenai, I would say Asuma is seen as the weakest of the 4. In my opinion. So yes. And plus, as far as, you know, Tenten and Ino over Sakura, I mean, like I was saying before, like, Tenten to me could move up to B tier if they just did more important stuff. If they had more of a role, if they had an importance, I could see them move up to B tier. But as it stands right now, they don't do that much. They just exist, and instead it's other characters on our team. It's, you know, my guy, it's Rock Lee, it's Neji. They get the spotlight. They are the ones that get the character development, that get the character moments. And Tenten just exists. Tenten gets no screen time. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're literally proving my point when I just said that. That Tenten, in my opinion, is a character that could be promoted on a ranking list had they just got more important arcs and had more importance. And there was a reason for them to be there, right? As opposed to just them, tagging along with, Mike Guy's team. If they actually did important stuff, I could see them get promoted. How is she over Sakura? How is she over Sakura? Is that what... Would it make you feel better if I put Sakura over Tenten? Would that make you happy? Would that make this list up to your standard then? Your criteria. I just have to move Sakura and Tenten, switch them places. Would that mean it's an accurate list then? But, Dakota, you've known this forever. Ever since I've started watching, Naruto, both OG and Shippuden in real time. You know my issues with Sakura. It's, her obsession with Sasuke gets really fucking annoying, especially in OG Naruto. Her whole constant manipulation of Naruto for wanting to bring Sasuke back and everything, about it being all about her and her being selfish. I was not a fan of it either. And I don't know. Like, to me, Sakura also suffers from the Tenten problem, where other people on her own team get character arcs. Other people on her own team get character moments. And she's just in the background, just existing. Right? Naruto obviously gets character arcs. Sasuke gets character arcs. Kakashi has a huge character swing over Shippuden. Sakura just exists. Look at Mike Guy's team. Mike Guy has moments, especially going toe-to-toe with Madara in the Great Ninja War. Rock Lee has moments, especially in OG Naruto, when it's him versus Gaara in the Chunin exams, right? That huge moment. And you have Neji, where you obviously have his death in the Great Ninja War. You have his whole fight with both Hinata and Naruto in OG Naruto, right? So, they all get important stuff. And then Tenten just exists. They're just there. Right? I mean, the most we've seen Tenten do, just being honest, the most we've seen her do is to see her get her cheeks absolutely clapped in round 1 by Tamar in the Chunin exams without breaking a sweat. That's it. That's the most we see Tenten do, is her lose in a blowout fashion. I don't know. I just don't like Sakura just because, in my opinion, there's just better female characters in the series, better than her, that get character arcs, that get important character moments. And I don't know. I'm just happier whenever I see those characters on screen as opposed to Sakura. But that's it. There's my tier list. You can agree or disagree if not. You can have a problem with my Sakura ranking if you want, but it's my list, and this is what it's going to be. That's my GOAT list. Ramen Guy is the absolute GOAT over everybody else. And then you have the S tier, A tier, as you know. Then Sakura and Danzo are the very trash end of bottom F tier. Even though that may trigger people. But that's just how it's going to be. Let's see, we've been going for 45 minutes now. Do we hop into something else, or do we end this quick stream? Right? Do we end this quick stream on this new PC setup? Trying to think. I feel like in order to get to an hour, what we could do is go to while you press a button, right? Go to a couple scenarios. Now that you guys can actually see the screen, and I'm not just saying it on stream through my phone, we're probably going to go to that, see what kind of scenarios they give. Hopefully we get a few good ones so then we can talk about it and then end stream. And if not, well, we tried, and I guess we will end stream and then we will come back later on. So let me quickly update this and go to the button website. Oh, hold on. Okay, perfect. That was easy. Alright, so, will you press the button? When's that stream? We'll see. I would imagine it's tomorrow, probably same time as right now. Most likely, I would say. Will you press the button? You become a high-functioning sociopath blogger, but you watch him jump off a building to his death. That does not sound that intriguing. I don't think I want something like that, so I will not. Right. I'm skipping those because I want a good one. I want one that opens up conversation dialogue and be like, that is interesting. Let me talk about the pros and cons for the next 15 minutes. You end world hunger, wars, and disease, but the human race will only last for another 10 years before it's eradicated. See, this is an interesting one. Like I was saying, this is the one that brings in some conversation and discussion. So, I can be responsible for ending world hunger, wars, and disease, and basically end all suffering for the next decade. But after that perfect utopia decade is when we all die and the world is over as we know it. So, either we keep the war, we keep the world hunger, we keep the disease, we keep all the suffering, right? But humans last, more than a decade. Or we get perfection for 10 years, and then is that worth the cost of being like, you know what? 10 years, we had a good run, and now I'm willing to give it all up. Ooh. Would you press that button? Also, let me know if y'all would do this or not, and the reasons why. While I think about it, would you press the button? Will I press the button? Ending world hunger, wars, and disease, but we're only able to live for another 10 years. Could we have a loophole? Right? Could the loophole be if all war, disease, world hunger, everything is common ground, everyone likes each other, all that stuff, could it be possible within the next 10 years we're able to, flee Earth, go up to outer space, and create new civilization? So then when 10 years comes around and the aliens eradicate Earth, guess what? We're no longer there. Could that be possible? If so, I would press that button. I'm pressing that button. I'm willing to sacrifice for the good of humanity. You can watch porn of anyone or anything, but you cannot have sex. So what's the point then? No! I'm kidding. Alright, you're the smartest person in the world. You have a solution to everything and every problem, but you have no way of communicating to people. No way of communicating. So, like, no way of communicating at all. Like, can I not, like, you know, like, any communication whatsoever, right? Like, it's not, like, I'm not trying to, like, you know, speak it or whatever, but, you know, could I see, you know, my friend, you know, struggling or whatever, I come with them with a big, like, 50-foot whiteboard and, you know, a marker, write down on the board, this is the answer to your problem, this is the solution. Am I able to do that? Because that technically is communicating their solution to the problem. But I'm not speaking it. Right? Like, am I able to do that? But also, if I'm the smartest person in the world, could I figure out a way to be able to speak telepathically? So, I can speak to people with their mind. If I'm the smartest person in the world, I should be able to figure out a way that we can do that, right? A solution to every problem. People cannot speak with telepathy yet. I want that, be the person to do that. I will be that solution to that problem. I'll do it. You have the ability to shapeshift into any form, be it someone of the opposite gender, a different species, etc. But you must stay in this form for an entire year. An entire year is a long time to be something else. But anything. But the problem is, right, like, let's say, I don't know why you would, but let's say I wanted to, you know, shapeshift into a fish. I get turned into a fish, I get spawned in the ocean, right? And let's say within that time frame of a year, I get eaten by a shark. Right? Well, technically, we were not able to survive for a year in that form, so what happens then if I get, you know, eaten or killed or whatever? Right? What about that problem? So that's one question I have. Because you can do any species, not just people. But the opposite gender. I mean, you know what I would do. If I was the opposite gender, you know I've said this on stream multiple times before. You know what I would do. I'll be a female. I would go the full OnlyFans, you know, IG, you know, thirst trap, Twitch streaming, thirst trap, you know, route where everything is about, you know, sexual appeal and everything, trying to get as much attention and money as possible. I get as much money as possible in that year frame, and then I live off that money for the rest of my life. That's what I would do. At least in one of those years. Maybe the first time I do it. You get someone to do your homework for the rest of your life, or work. Well, homework is not relevant to me because I don't go to school anymore. But you lose an IQ point for every task they complete. What if your IQ is below 0? I'm not saying mine is, but what if your IQ is low, so you can't go in the negative? It's unlimited free work that someone else is doing. But no, I will not. Your favorite fictional character is in love with you, but their touch will severely burn you. What even is my favorite fictional character? My favorite fictional character. I mean, Hinata's probably one. Right? I mean, they're up there for sure. It helps that they're in love with me. But also there is Monica from Doki Doki Literature Club. That's also a fictional character. And it also helps that they're in love with me. Because then they'll kill everyone to be with me. But their touch will severely burn you. You know what? I'd do it. I'd do it. I press that button. If it meant I'm able to get Monica from Doki Doki Literature Club to come into the world, come in the stream right now, right next to me, and fall in love with me, I'm willing to pay that price. So I would do it. Just turning yourself but a foot tall, 10-foot wingspan, jacked and athletic, and make millions of dollars. Also true. That's also true. I hope I'm able to live for many years, and that is one of the possibilities. So yeah. But yeah, I'll do it. Just bring in Monica from Doki Doki Literature Club, and we are set. When you die, you are reborn into a fantasy world with all your memories, but it is Pokemon. Am I a Pokemon trainer? Because if so, yeah, 100%. If I am reborn into a world, it's Pokemon, and I'm a Pokemon trainer now? Yes, 100%. But if I'm one of those just like townsfolk that doesn't get to collect Pokemon, doesn't get to fight gym trainers or anything like that, just someone who just exists, that will be boring. But assuming I'm able to be a Pokemon trainer, 100%. There's no downside to that. You can see the future, but you cannot change anything or tell anyone. I wouldn't want to tell anyone the future either. Even if that, remove the but, just say you can see the future. I would not want to tell people the future to begin with, right? Selfishly, number one, if I'm able to see the future, I know what the winning lottery ticket number is. So I go to the lottery, right? I go get the lottery ticket, and I purposely pick the winning numbers that I know is the guaranteed win, and I'm able to live off that for the rest of my life because I can see the future. It's a guaranteed lottery ticket, guaranteed win. I wouldn't want to tell anyone else, like, hey, the lottery ticket is, these, numbers, 4, 8, 17, 74, 56, and 6. I don't even know if that's enough numbers, but you get what I mean, right? Let's say those are winning numbers. I would not want to tell anyone else those are numbers. I want to do it for myself, right? But also, it's one of those things where it's the whole butterfly effect where, if you see the future, you see an outcome, and you tell someone that, hey, this thing's going to happen to them or whatever, then if they divert off that path, they avoid that, canon event, then that branches off into a whole different timeline of events, and you have no idea what that's going to lead to. So, I'd do it. Because I'm selfish. I'm a selfish asshole. And I would not want to tell people the winning lottery tickets numbers anyway. You become YouTube famous. Well, I'm already YouTube famous to begin with. So, this is not relevant to me. But you will never do a face reveal, and you can never reveal your identity. Well, shit. As far as face identities, face reveals, damn it. Well, that's some problem. I can't do any face reveals, so damn. Let's see. Let's end it off a good one. Go to school. I don't go to school anymore, so that's not relevant to me. Eternal life and health. Interesting. Perfect PC and connection. Well, that's kind of relevant to now. But I don't think this is a perfect PC. I'm not saying that at all. I would say it's the exact opposite of perfect. Never go to work again. Every week you'll get paid 40 hours worth of minimum wage. That's terrible. But you can't receive any hours. No. That's terrible. You can't live off minimum wage to begin with. And you can't do any other income? That's terrible. How would you live? Dream job you always wanted. Great. Every time you notice an attractive person, you start screaming. Okay, I'd do it. Because then I can make it fun. I can make it into a bit. Right? I can be like, you know, one of those carnival fair games where instead of like, you know, oh, you know, here's, you know, this like stuffed animal, whatever, and you'll win it if, you know, I'm able to, you know, guess your age if I'm within, you know, like 2 or 3 years or whatever. Instead, I can be the attraction at the fair or carnival event or whatever, and you simply walk by, and if I scream, that means you are attractive and you win a prize or whatever. And if I'm like this, I guess you don't win. So that's what I would do. Pokemon, another Pokemon one. Pokemon become real. Pokemon battles are illegal. No. That's stupid. I don't care. I don't care that much about Pokemon, actually. You'll have 50% chance of getting anything you want for the rest of your life. That's amazing. Never physically age. And know for certain that you will be reincarnated in whatever form you choose to. But you'll have 50% chance of being tortured brutally nonstop for 24 hours and burned in hell for all eternity. So it's a 50-50 flip of a coin. I either get anything I want in life, I never physically age, I am literally immortal, right? Or I'm tortured nonstop and burned in hell for all eternity. And it's literally just a coin flip, 50-50 shot of, do I get the good outcome or the bad outcome? No, I won't. Like 50% is a pretty hefty chunk. That's a pretty hefty percentage. If it was like, let's say 5% chance or 10% chance, then yeah, I'll be more inclined to doing it. But if it's 50-50, knowing my luck, I would get the bad option. So no, I would not do it. Okay. So we're at the hour mark, so I feel like that's going to be it for this stream. We were able to do the Naruto tier list, got into some controversy, I guess, and we were able to do some scenarios for Will You Press the Button. So I'll say it was a pretty fun stream. The first ever stream in this new setup with the PC and everything, and these streams will be back. These streams I'm really looking forward to. I'm really looking forward to having a lot of fun with this. And we'll see what happens. We will see what streams we can think of when doing this. I feel like, at the very minimum, for PC streams, we're going to be reacting to, like, iconic Naruto moments or Naruto fights or whatever. I feel like the very minimum I'd want to do that. And after that, who knows? We'll just see what ideas we come up with, what ideas y'all come up with, and we'll just go from there. When are you getting a haircut? I got a haircut, let's see. It's May 17th. So let me think. I'm down with dates. I got it 2 weeks ago. Yeah. I got a haircut 2 weeks ago. So what?